Hey everybody, it's Norm from Tested.
And Sean from Tested.
And we have yet another 3D printed project with Jacky Wan.
Jacky Wan, Velcro.
And this time, I think he has something super awesome. I can't wait to share it with you guys.
Yeah, there's been so many good things. So
Sean, you gotta check it out.
I'm excited.
And once again, we're back with Jacky Wan, Velcro, with a cool 3D printed project of your own design, and this one actually in collaboration with some other people. Can you tell us about this, what looks like a robot hand, and the project you're involved with?
Yeah, so this is an Enable hand. I think it's a Raptor 2, and you can find the plans of this like on Enable, or enablingthefuture.org, I believe. Basically, it's a prosthetic for kids, and if they don't have fingers, they'll be able to use this. There's usually a leather pad that goes here and there, and then they can, if they can do this, then they can have a hand that articulates his fingers.
That's a really awesome project. It's like community design, you told me, and people basically, if you have a 3D printer of any kind, you can download the plans and print out a prosthetic hand for someone in need.
Yeah, so you can join the program, and basically, if you have a 3D printer, then people request that they need a hand for this person, and then you'll get a request, and then you can print it out for them, and it can be local because like they can choose people from wherever need. Like if you're in Africa, they'll just find someone local in Africa that can print it out and ship it to you, either really cheap or like they can even hand it to you or pick it up or something. So overall, it's like a super awesome thing all around.
So that's not something you designed specifically. You're involved with the project, but something you did design is taking basically the mechanics of this prosthetic and then making it your own.
Yeah, I'm not directly affiliated with Enable, but like there's a lot of contributors that make different things, make different mods. It's an open source project, so like everybody can throw their hat in. So what I decided to do with this one is like I thought these were cool, they functioned cool, but it kind of looks like kind of robotic-y and weird. So I thought, what would be cool if it looked really cool, and then the kids would like want to have it, and it wouldn't be like a burden on them. It would be more of like a other kids would see it and be like, that looks cool, and that would alleviate some of the possible psychological pain. So this is what I came up with. I designed this from scratch. Some of the Ultimaker guys threw some ideas in, and we're like, it's steampunk idea, that's cool. So this is what I made. It's based conceptually on the same thing. It has cables, and I thought it'd be good to have the cables run internally instead of externally because it doesn't quite look as cool. And this is all again snap together. I like to make all my stuff snap fit. And instead of these screws, which are hard to find in some areas, like I live in Canada, and it's hard to find both metric and imperial screws. So I never want to deal with screws in my 3D prints. So these are 3D printed tensioners that will tension, that basically do the same job as these screws.
Oh, it looks like a violin. Basically, where you can tighten it. So you design your own tensioning system. You're using pulleys here, which are also 3D printed. And the only thing that's not really 3D printed here is the string.
Yeah, so only the strings and the stretchy cord, which is totally internal. So, well, you wouldn't be able to see it, but considering it's internal. But it's basically these stretchy cords that pull the fingers down, and then moving the wrist will allow you to move the fingers like this. This is a sort of first draft prototype, so it doesn't work 100% yet, but it is online, and people can download and make improvements, and basically get this to a functioning status, or I'll eventually get it to that status as well.
Well, in addition to the mechanical considerations, you wanted to make it look beautiful, and that steampunk look. You have the modular pieces here, which evoke that steampunk idea, but also the fingers themselves. I mean, honestly, it looks like Steampunk Iron Man with that paint theme. How do the fingers work, and how are they sheathed with the different pieces of 3D printed plastic?
Yeah, so the challenge here was like, because I wanted to make it all snap fit, it's a little bit more difficult with mechanical pieces. So I created this, and this is how the fingers work essentially. The cap comes off, and each part of these skins hold the pins in place so that it doesn't come apart. So basically, in order to take the fingers apart, you have to pop this entire thing off and move the skin one by one in order to pop the pins out, so that as long as this is on here, it'll keep the whole thing together. So I can show you how that's... So if this skin is moved back, which is prevented by this, the pin will drop out, and then you can remove the the actual part.
So it's almost like designing a skeleton. The skeleton is then using with pins linked together, and then you build a skin on top of that to hold that all in place.
Exactly.
Yeah, logically it makes sense.
And also the advantage is the skin can be printed at sort of this angle. So that you have a better resolution, whereas this is a more functional mechanical piece, and it can be printed like this. So you have the mechanical strength. So you have sort of best of both worlds, where this looks great because it's on the exterior, and then this is strong because it's laid flat like that. And then also, a lot of people have been printing like the finger pads with like a Ninja Flex material, so it's rubbery. So you have the option of doing that as well. You can change up the sort of fingertips. With rubbery material.
For a better grip.
Yeah, exactly. Or you can try different things, or printing different colors if you want to customize it in that way. So this allows you a lot more options without having to delve into the 3D models.
Is that something that came from the community, the idea that for the functional aspects of it, you want the integrity and the strength, and they're testing different types of printing? I mean, it's really made for this FBM printing right now, and then for the exterior, you can print any, in a way that's best for the aesthetics.
Yeah, I designed it like that. I don't know if everyone's doing that. I mean, this is printed purely for functional design, I think. So, I mean, you can see here it's pretty rough over here, but usually there's like a foam pad. I like to design my stuff like that, but not everybody likes to do that. It's also a lot more work to do that. Like, I mean, this is like, 7 pieces versus like 2 pieces for this finger. I also have an extra joint in there. So it's a little different, but it's whatever you want to make. If you have a 3D printer, you make whatever you specifically want to make.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it.
And then when you're printing this out, how long will it take? How many pieces are there total, and how long does it take to actually print one of these?
I believe there's around like 20 pieces. I don't know the total print time because I usually set different settings for each piece, but I would guess around like anywhere from like a day to 2 days, depending on your speed and your settings. This one's actually printed pretty rough because this was my first prototype, so you can see some of the lines here. But I think it's kind of cool for steampunk. Like, it doesn't really detract from it that much.
Yeah.
But you can select whatever settings. If you wanted it really smooth, like all of these parts are separate, the plates that go on here, and that's because I wanted to paint them separately gold, and I didn't have to worry about masking things. And you can print this at a higher resolution than the main body, so that you would get the detailed bits. Same thing with this. The exterior looks nicer, and then the interior functional pieces are quicker and
sturdier.
Exactly, and prints faster.
Wow, that's a really good design lesson to take forward to other projects in the future.
Yeah.
Even if it's not necessarily mechanical, you can build an interior structure, build it rough, and then design a skin.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, very cool. What's next for you on this project?
For this project, I'm gonna make it functional, like work really well. I also have to scale this down a little bit. Like, this is much smaller than this right now, so I have to scale it down a little bit. And then the last thing is this little center was actually intended to hold some cool stuff. So if you want to put a laser on it or something, or hold your phone, you could do that. And this actually has threading. Basically, it's a separate piece, and you can do attachable things onto it. So I'm gonna add more stuff onto here to make it more interesting.
That is an awesome, awesome project. And again, it's for a good cause. People can actually, if you have a 3D printer, print your own, look at your open source designs, contribute to that design.
Yep.
And it's all online. You can find that information below. Thank you so much, Jacky, for sharing with us this project. And we'll have more stuff with Jacky Wan, Velcro, and his 3D printed projects on Tested. But until then, we'll see you next time. Bye.